behind the screen. So,
Okay.
like, if they go onto the screen, they'll hear this right now. So, just be aware that they're
My
listening. And then, in I'd say like 8:05, or matter of fact, I'll wait till you say something. And once, oh no, here's Askey.
Oh,
Here he
beautiful.
is.
Right on
Here
time.
he
Perfect.
is. What's good, brother? Uh, There, I'll bring everybody up real quick. Oh shoot, we are live. We are actually live on the internet.
Yes, man.
I totally forgot.
So we are live on the internet.
We are live on the internet. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna leave y'all with
I can't see
Dasky.
you guys.
No, we're not on the screen yet.
Okay, cool. All right. I sound like an old man right now. Hey, fuck the internet.
That's funny. That sounds like an old man right now.
Listening to the Takeover Lounge, y'all. Pre-game right here. We got Askey in the building.
Whoa, whoa.
You know what it is. You know what it is.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna tap out. I'm gonna put y'all in. Have a great show.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yo.
What's good?
What's the word?
What's good? Chilling. Yo, before we get into it, you already know, gotta do the introductions. Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to the Takeover Lounge. I am Z Give.
I'm Daniela.
And to the right of me. Thank you for tapping in, man. Crazy week. Crazy time to be alive right now. It's a blessing to be alive right now. We are here, man, with the brother Aske, man. How you holding up?
What's the word? What's the word?
Chilling. How you been holding up, Aske?
How's everybody doing? I'm good, man. How's everybody feeling?
We good. We're good. As good as one can be.
Yeah.
Shit, man. I hear that.
Facts. Man, let me pull up these questions before we get straight into it. You know what I mean? Hold on. We have been internet issues. No, we good. He's cool. Where are we coming from, Aske?
Man, I'm in traffic right now. I'm on my way to go make some signs for the protest tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie, man. I totally spaced out on everything I have planned today, so I'm gonna be in the truck for a little bit. I apologize.
Aww. It's okay.
Don't even stress, man. It's like I said, it's been a crazy week. I was happy that Mankind got you to sign on and got you booked for this week. But
yeah, I'm more than happy to be here, man, and chop it up with you guys. Though, of course, y'all just got to work with me, man. I'm in the truck right now. We in traffic, but here, you know.
Of course. As long as you're not driving the interview, man.
No, I'm not driving.
We don't condone that behavior. We don't.
Counted by Chris behind the wheel.
CBC, what's good, brother?
What up, yo?
Hanging in there, man. So let's get into this, man. Let's get into this interview. I'm gonna have Daniela ask the first question because I always kick it off. So
let's get it.
All right, Aske, you ready?
Yes. Now, yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Let's say, what is the 850 as a collective, and what does it mean to you?
So you said what is 850 and like as a collective, and what do they mean to me?
Yeah.
Okay, so 850 is just, it's me and my brothers. It started before rap, pretty much. I kind of like jumped off the porch or whatever and like became an adult or whatever, and it was just me and it was 850 Coast, and it was my brother and somebody else, but he didn't make it, but we just needed like something to be recognized by. And once we started doing like the rap movement, and we just kept going further with the career and shit, we was like, man, we gotta keep going by 850. Like, that's us. It started off as an address. It was part of the address that we all like lived together at, and now it's honestly like much more than just an address. Like, it's bigger than what we thought it was going to be, and it's still growing.
That's awesome.
So that's the thing. And like, everybody has a role, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's assigned to something. There's no, I'm gonna just hang out and not do anything. Like, everybody has a role, Tanner manages Soul Point. Go SV is like my video director. He helps me write. He does everything. He's like my Scottie Pippen, bro. And then we got Counted by Chris, of course, my producer, my DJ, We got 850 Coast, which is everywhere. He takes pictures for us on tour.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like everybody has a role. So that's like the most important thing about the collective, man.
That's crazy. You run the collective like an organization. That's what I like. That's what I like to
Yeah,
hear.
it's becoming a business. It's becoming a business now. Like we've been taking some steps into like legitimizing everything, like like the LLCs and all those types of things. Like we're definitely in that direction now. So it's more than what it started off as, for sure.
Right. Can you talk about that transition into like, okay, well, 850, the collective, cool. Now it's like 850, LLC. So they better be worried.
Right.
They better be ready for that one. So like, what was that like progression like?
Trying to minimize dealing with outside sources as much as possible is what fueled these recent jumps.
Mm-hmm.
We there came a point where we were just really tired of dealing with a lot of outside sources, and we were like, yo, if we do it ourselves, there's nobody else to blame but us. If we go and legitimize everything, if we drop the ball, we hold each other accountable, because it's real easy to blame somebody and be like, oh, well, they're not part of us, like they dropped the ball and that's not our fault.
Right.
So you know what I mean? Like we're taking those steps now to where it's like, nah, man, like accountability is everything. And of course, like the legal aspect of it too. Like we can't be out here just doing what we're doing and then not be protected, so that way we'll mess around and lose everything we work for. So the business aspect is definitely important, man. You really got to legitimize your ventures and get everything in writing. You have to. Not everything is based on a handshake, and that's how a lot of people get messed over.
Wow, that's powerful. That's truth. That's fact. That's anybody watching. That's game coming from Aske, man. I mean,
Yes, sir.
You're one of the youngest to do this right now. You know what I mean? And you're definitely leading the way for not only Tucson but Arizona. I don't mean to put no pressure on you, but I mean,
I love the pressure. I love the pressure. I work under pressure. Thank you. Yeah, I love
it. Of course.
Yeah.
So, talking about that transition into 850 being LLC from just people chilling in an apartment. I mean, let's talk about how you were once a student just in life, and now you're this rapper, and now you're more business minded. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, can you talk about that progress also?
That student mentality is like forever going to be instilled in like not only myself but the rest of the collective. I feel like that's what keeps us wanting to be great. Just consistently asking questions and researching and finding answers to things. And that's another, like, going back to what I said, like you go and ask somebody else who's not a credible source, like you lose out. If you do the research yourself and you go to credible sources, you become educated and you bring whatever education you have back to who's with you,
right?
And then everybody's moving. It becomes a well-oiled machine, man. So I'm still a student. I'm still learning a lot of things. I got some big homies I ask a lot of things to. I confide in them. So, and then amongst each other, we ask each other shit, because one person might know one thing and the other might know another. So it helps out a lot. We still got to stay students.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Let's see. So with the rap, like with rapping, with music, with all the business, where do you see yourself in the future? And what would your like end goal be?
The end goal. So right now, from an artist standpoint, like I want to touch lives. Like I want to go as far as I can go in my career. I want arenas. Like I want to do as much as I can. And like my end all be all is to start a label. I really want to find some artists that are like-minded and push them and give them the opportunities that we don't get, because we deal with a lot of shady things in the industry, and they don't really have your best interests at heart. They just want you to go out there and slave for them, and you see nothing. You end up being broke a few years later down the line, maybe even months down the line, So I feel like I want to start a label, and that's kind of what we're leaning towards right now with 850. Like we're gonna start a label, and we want to have some artists under us, and that's why we brought in Soul Point. Like more, it was more of like a personal thing bringing Soul Point in, but like as an artist, we feel like we can push him and make sure that he reaches his like full potential, and so that's really what it is. Like at the end of the day, like I want to put people in a position to succeed, and musically, I want to touch lives. I want to inspire. I want to make sure people are waking up in the morning, they're like, yo, I'm gonna listen to Aske before I go to class or before I go to the gym, before I go to work, you know, whatever it may be, before I go to court, you know, whatever it may be. Like, I want people to be like, oh, I'm gonna go listen to him the way I would with certain artists, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be great.
Thanks. That's sick. So building, I mean, not building off that, but just like I wasn't there for the startup of Aske, but I was definitely there for the first leg of Aske and what he was. I mean, it was about a year ago, not today, but it was about to be a year since you approached me. I don't know how we met or got in contact, but you were opening up for Mark Battles, and you were at the Rock, and I remember, I don't know, it was a DM or something, but now just seeing you. You're not opening anymore. You're more a headliner now when people come up. So like, how does it feel to be just to see the progress and the journey? I mean, how does it feel?
It's rewarding, man. First and foremost, it's rewarding because we work hella hard. Like I work hella hard, and I have a really how do I say it? I have a great attention to detail. So I'll watch just like a hooper. You know, you know, you used to hoop. It's like basketball, man. Like I watch film all the time, and I feel like it's like that with music. So I would go and watch performances. I still do watch performances, and I try to think like, oh, what can I do better, or like I should implement this into the show, or Chris, you should try doing this, or add a drop right here. You know what I mean? Just certain things that make the experience more memorable. And I feel like as I started moving up and becoming more of like an entertainer, I started getting rewarded a little more, and it felt good, man. Like it felt good to be noticed for what I do. And like there's still funny stuff that goes like along with it. Like there's still promoters who don't want to let me in yet. Like you know what I mean? There's always gonna be obstacles, man. There's always gonna be like more to do. And I feel like at the same time that keeps me going, it keeps me motivated. Like, damn, you're gonna keep writing me off. So I just gotta keep turning up to the point to where it's like, bro, there's no way you're not gonna know who I am. Like you have to respect what I'm gonna do. There was a time where I probably did like 20 shows. Like I don't even know what time span it was, but I just went nuts. Like I was on damn near every lineup, and then you still have to keep a balance too, and not burn yourself out and give the same stuff out every time. Like people still have to be excited to see you. And I feel like in that time period, I still had hella people coming to see me. So it's like if we got that going on, there must be something that's being done right.
Exactly.
You know, so it's good, man. It's humbling. Like it's cool. Like I'm always gonna still open for somebody. Like it's just bigger artists now, bigger shows, bigger venues now. Like I'm ready for all that. Like we're trying to get the festivals lined up after everything clears up. Like I'm trying to move on to the next stage. Like I'm forever like chasing like a high. You know what I mean? Like I'm chasing a high, just trying to find the next spot. That's what keeps us, you know, like going.
That's beautiful. That's super dope. I want to talk about. I mean, you said you watch film as a basketball player. You watch film as an entertainer, and you know one of the things that stood out to me as a fan is just watching your crowd control and listening to your crowd control and how much crowd control you actually have. So who did you get that from, or was that something you practiced, or was that something that came natural to you? Like, what was that?
It was a little bit of both. Like. I remember the first show I did, like I kind of just hopped up on stage and just started rapping. And I realized it took longer for people to gravitate towards my music. It wasn't a personal experience. So I feel like I would start doing small things to like get involved with the crowd. But then you have to learn too, like how long am I taking, like how much time am I taking speaking to people? So I had to learn how to balance me. There's some songs I got to jump into, and there's some songs where I got to explain and see if everybody's still alive. You know, like how are you receiving my music? And I feel like I learned that from I learned it from Cash. I learned it from Cash Lansky. I learned it from Tommy. I learned it from Marley. I watched it. I say this every time when people ask me like who is it that I watched and I learned from. It's definitely them. It wasn't even like major artists. Like I don't really go to concerts like that. What have I gone to? I've gone to Currency, Nas, Mark Battle shows. Like I haven't gone to shows. But Nas was definitely like somebody I learned from too, without a doubt. But locally, like controlling a local crowd, because controlling a Tucson crowd, like it's different. It's different. Like I've been everywhere, and like it's different. So I learned from them. I definitely took some things out of their books and out of their bags, you know, and I kind of flipped it and used it in my own way. And I feel like I kind of got it like on lock now, and it's fun now. It's more personal. It's more intimate. So when you leave a show and you see me perform, like you're gonna remember exactly what happened, you know.
Yep, exactly. That's
So
super
that's
dope.
important to me. That's definitely important. It's an
Yeah.
experience. That's it.
Yeah, I still got that round of applause, hey. And then you
Yes,
see,
yeah.
I hear it. I still hear it in the back of my head.
Got to, man. Like it's only right. It's only right to leave that experience, and it's fun, bro. It's a party. Like you shouldn't come to a rap show and not want to turn up. Like you got to come to a rap show to make friends and to have a good time and, you know, hear new music. So that's what it's all about. I'm like, how would I feel as a consumer watching like some boring shit, you know? So
Exactly.
it's different.
Exactly.
It's different. Yeah, it's different.
That's dope.
Awesome. Let's see. So when you are trying to write a song, what type of state of mind do you go into? And how do you find, because I remember the other day I saw you in the studio and you were struggling with finding a sound.
Mm-hmm.
So how, like, what's that process? What's the process of you like getting a song together, finding that sound, everything?
So that situation was honestly like so rare because usually I feel like me and like myself and Chris, like we have this kind of chemistry where it's like Chris will tell me, what are you feeling today? Like, what's the sound that we're going for? Or I'll even tell Chris too, like, what's the sound that you want or whatever. And we'll just bounce off ideas, you know, and figure out, oh, like we'll go through samples. And the problem was that day we could not find anything to sample. So it's like once we heard, how many samples was that? Like we heard like 50, 60 samples already. Our ears were just like done, you know, like we were done.
Yeah.
So for the most part, though, with the creative process, like we just go in and we're like, what do you want to talk about today? Like I'll even tell Chris, like, yo, Chris, like I'm pissed off today, bro. Like I need to get this off. Like I seen something online or X, Y, and Z approached me this way today, or maybe I'm feeling positive. Like, yo, I feel like I'm super flexed up today, and like I need something that I could just flex on and like, you know, kind of vibe to, or oh, we need a performance record today. Like, how are we gonna make our next round of applause? So we kind of just like go into things with a plan, or sometimes we just kick it. Today we made a record, and Chris just showed up. Chris just showed up to the crib and made a beat, and I was like, yo, I'm writing to this, and there it was. So there's like a mixture. Like I feel like when there's less of a routine, we make better music.
That's
So
good
that's
enough.
it.
I was listening to a podcast with Zaytoven, and he was telling the viewers just like, you know, simplicity is key and time is key. So he's like, I give myself 5 minutes to create a beat, and if 5 minutes, I got what I got. Because if you just dwell on it and just keep like, okay, if I add this and add that and add this and add that, you're making it more you're overly complicated. Is that the same kind of mindset you go into?
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing from the production process and the writing process. Because if I consistently keep on going, like if I'm going back and forth, taking out bars and this one doesn't sound right, this one doesn't sound right, I should add this instead of this. I feel like I can almost hear it in the music that I'm going back in doing that. Most people won't catch it, but we know, like, oh man, I could kind of tell you went back. Or Chris will go and add like an extra instrument that's not needed or something, you know, like we can kind of tell, and it's like, okay, nah, we're doing too much. Like we'll stop it right there, you know.
Exactly.
So that's really like what it is, man. Like it's just keeping the creative process organic and really feeding off of each other's vibes. And it sounds cliche, but it's true, because if the vibe isn't right, or if one of us is like not feeling good, like we're bothered by something, the creative process is off. So everybody has to be feeling good. You know, the vibe in the studio has to be good, or don't come. You know what I mean? Like people don't come to our sessions. People do not come to our sessions unless you're really solid and we know you. You will not come to our sessions, because we've been in like situations where people talk too much, or you don't know how to compose yourself. So it's like, man, nah. It's 8:50 in the studio, maybe like a homie or two, or sometimes just me and Chris. 8 times out of 10, it's just me and Chris.
Beautiful, beautiful. So before we get on to more questions, I want to pull up the Tucson Hip Hop Festival musical, High School Musical. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I want to bring up that clip of your free verse that you did there. So
yeah,
let's run that real quick.
For sure.
I'm from Tucson, where the street lights is the curfew. Sunsets is pretty if you lacking. Haters will hurt you. Peep game from OGs and Mom Dukes, but I grew up on my own. Some things you had to figure out before this life, right, you was sown. Cousins from different sets, you had to pick what side you was on. Leave millions for my brothers, build centers for the kids when I'm gone. Dribble rock, pedal herb, that's the way out here. 40 ounces feet the ground every day out here. If you were moving with a purpose, you would drown out here. Dead homies I cry for, so I don't feel my peers. They tell me they want real, so I kill my fears. Good food, high women, warm tempers, that's the city I'm from. Die young, born winners in this city I'm from. I'm a product of the street. I'm the rose from the 40, off the porch for the Brodies. I'm the ghost of the homies. If you solid, come and show me. Ace up.
Crazy. I'm gonna drop a fun flex bomb. That's called boss.
My God.
If you ain't got that, get the out of here. That New York accent.
That,
That's crazy. That was a year ago.
Man. Not everybody could come up there.
Right?
Yeah.
That was a year ago.
I was in a different place, man.
Yeah.
I was in a different place.
Can you talk about that place you're at? What was
who
that?
Was it? It was Pike. Yeah. Oh yeah. It was man, I don't know how to elaborate on this. I was outside in a nutshell. I'm gonna say it like that. I was outside, man.
Okay.
Like I was outside, you know. And when you're outside, you start to realize like what's really going on in the city. It's a beautiful city. You know, the city's a beautiful place. I've always said that. But you start to meet different walks of life. You start to realize what the streets have to offer you. And a lot of what I talked about in that verse was just like, for me being a kid and just going outside and saying, I'm gonna go shoot hoops, like at the apartment's basketball court. Like, what am I gonna see out there? Like with my cousins, you know, like, and as we gradually grow up, we start to realize what was what and who was who. And I feel like when Pike was, because Pike was the one, he was like, yo, you gotta like talk about your experience in Tucson. And I was like, well, damn, I don't want to be vague, you know, like I don't want to just say like, oh, this is here, like this is in the city, and talk about like a really colorful, beautiful, sunny part of it. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the part that people are really scared to go to. I'm gonna go to the part that people are scared to talk about. And I decided to go there. And I was like, I'm gonna let you in and let you know that this is a pretty place. This is a beautiful place, but this shit is not sweet. Like, this is not a sweet city. Like, if you are lacking, like, you will get exposed. If you are weak, you will get exposed. You feel me? So I try to do that in the most poetic way possible and still get to the point, man. And I feel like that joint's one of my favorite like verses ever. Like, it's crazy. Like,
oh yeah,
I don't know. Like, it was nuts. And we was up there at we were up there on the roof of Congress.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember people were calling the staff and they were like, oh, like, you have somebody on your roof, go check on them. They thought I was going to try to do something. And I'm like, man, I'm just rapping. So they came up there. They're like, you got 20 minutes to get this off and you got to get out of here.
Ooh.
I was like, damn it. Man.
Right?
Like, so we got it done. I got on the roof. I was scared of heights. I'm scared of heights, man. So I was like, bro, I was so scared, bro. I was so scared. And like Sonny, SD Visions was like, you got to do it for the shop. He was like, nobody in the city's doing this, bro. You got to do it. So
Facts.
Sonny hyped me up, man. Sonny hyped me up. I did it. And Flawless Victory was there too. Like, bro, you gotta get it done, bro. You gotta be the one to do it.
Facts.
So they like motivated me to get it done, and we knocked it out, man. And I feel like people are gonna go back and find it later on and be like, man, this is fire. You know what I'm saying? So,
exactly.
Yeah, shout out to Sonny and everybody who is part of that, man. Like, it's dope. Like,
yeah.
It's dope to see it age and people are still going back and looking at it. So I love it, man. It's good.
It's amazing.
No doubt.
All right, Aske. So looking back and seeing where you are today, what would be one thing?
This is what it is, man. It's Tucson, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Tucson, baby. We love this spot. I love it. I'm from here. I grew up here.
What would be one thing that you would tell young Aske?
One thing to what? I'm sorry, you cut out.
One thing that you would tell young Aske.
To what I would tell young Aske?
Yeah.
I would tell young Aske that business comes first, to get out and network, and less is more. Less is more, because I have a very, like, we're small in numbers. You know, it's what, like 5, 6 of us. Before then, it was like 4 of us, and we've outworked behind them. And there was times where I was not like that confident in it. I was confident in it, but not that confident, you know. And I didn't think what we were gonna have now. That confidence and really wholeheartedly believe in what's going on and learn the business. If I would have learned what I knew now, I can't even tell y'all where I would be. Like, I couldn't even tell you guys where I would be if I knew what I knew now. But timing is everything. I learned what I was supposed to learn when I was supposed to learn, and I don't regret it or take it back or anything. But young artists, you know what I'm saying? Like, make sure you guys at a time learning the business and learning this shit. But you got to do it. It's inevitable, you know?
So, what resources?
Oh yeah, that's it, pretty much.
What resources would you give to young artists out there that are trying to kickstart their career? Like, what were you watching? Who were you listening to? I mean, you named a few, some of the locals, but any others?
Can y'all hear me?
A little bit.
It might be late. I think it might be late. Man, YouTube University, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would go look up how do royalties work, or how does splits work, or how do performance rights work? You know, like those little things that you really just have to learn, and they're right in front of you. They're right in front of you, man. But you just gotta, like, apply yourself and look for it. And then there's workshops. Like, artists do workshops, producers do workshops. Tommy Will's like doing a workshop now where he has like a group of artists that he's taking in, and they learn certain things about the business. So those types of resources are definitely needed. Now they're there. You know, I didn't have that at first, and like, I'm glad somebody stepped up and is off and really messed up.
Thanks.
But it is. You gotta go out there and learn for yourself sometimes.
Agreed.
True.
But yeah, that's it, man. Pretty much.
Awesome. Okay, so your latest drop, you did 526
I
part
think
2.
I'm lagging.
Technical.
Shit. I don't know. Can you guys hear me? I think I'm lagging.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're lagging. Oh man, he was in a good spot before.
He was.
Oh, now he's frozen. Ah, shoot. It's all good. Yeah, we'll just do that. So far, the conversation's been smooth. I mean,
It has been. He has a lot to say.
I've learned a lot. I mean, yeah, I learned a lot just as a viewer, as a listener. Is there any, I wonder if there's anybody in the live chat. Are we live?
Back?
Oh, there we go.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep, you're back.
Yeah.
We're back?
Yes.
Okay, my fault.
You're good.
My fault. So, what was the question? My bad.
Okay, so you dropped the 526 part 2.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot of meaning behind it. You dropped it on your mom's birthday. What was how long was that project in the works for?
About a year.
Wow.
Yeah, it was about a year.
Wow.
We sat on some of those tracks. How many was it, Chris? Like 2? We sat on like 2. There was one that we just found that we forgot to put on there. I'm gonna be real, man. We forgot to put it on there, so we're gonna drop it on the deluxe. But yeah, like 85-90% of the project we sat on for about a year.
Wow. That's a long
Yeah.
time to be sitting on a project. I don't think I ever.
We had to wait for the time. It's hard, man, because I had to mature because I really like to just drop music. Like I really just drop music. Like nobody's as consistent as I am, you know. Like I like to have that feeling, but you gotta really you gotta slow down and just time everything and let people digest the music and let them, you know, have time to really take in what's being said and what's being produced. So I feel like with this project, we really like let it age for a little bit, and we had to go back and hear it a few times and go through different mix and masters and make sure we really like were confident with what we received. And I love the project wholeheartedly. I think it's our best work that we've ever put out. I'm gonna keep it a full band.
Yeah, it definitely is a powerful one. I want to talk about that feature. I mean, there's only one feature on there, and that's Jay Tilt, February
Yes, sir.
5th.
Jay Tilt.
Shout out Jay Tilt, man. But
Yeah, man. Shout out Tilt.
was he in? Were you guys in the recording the studio together, or was it he just sent you the?
Yeah.
Oh, so what was that like?
In that situation, like, see, me and Tilt have been going back and forth, like, with making music, and it never happened. You know, obviously we have our own schedules and we're moving around. So finally, Tilt was like, "Yo, I'm gonna pop out to the studio. Which days are good for you guys?" We're like, "Yo, come on this day." So we were making a few records, and I remember the sample that's on the track now. I told Chris, I was like, "Bro, like, what could we do with this one?" So Chris cooked up the sample. We got the beat, and I was like, "Yo, the beat's crazy." Was Zanny there? Zanny was there at one point. Rob Cena was there at one point. So we was in there, and we were vibing or whatever. And I already made a verse, and I think I might have had a hook too. No, I didn't have a hook until Tilt pulled up. I had a verse done, and we let Tilt vibe. Tilt made the beat. I'm not made the beat. Tilt had his verse done, and I was like, "Yo, my verse does not make any sense with what Tilt's saying."
Right.
Like Tilt went in. I didn't think Tilt was gonna go in the way he went in, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like Tilt really did that. So I went home, took the beat home, spent like an hour and a half writing, and I was like, "I'm gonna do this right. Like I'm not gonna just, you know what I mean? Like I'm not just gonna have a random verse on there and have Tilt talking about this one subject that I lightly brushed over, you know." So I went back, I wrote it again, and then went in the next day, recorded my verse, and I sent it over to him, and he was like, "Yo, like this is a record," and I'm like, "Facts," you know what I'm saying? Like we knew that this was gonna be a really personal record, and I wanted to make sure at the same time too that I'm not gonna cheat Jay Tilt and not go into depth like he did, you know what I'm saying? So I went back and did it, and the final result, man, I couldn't be any more happier with the final track. Like it's beautiful to me. Like it means so much to me, man.
It definitely is. It's definitely a beautiful piece of work. Because I mean, the first track I ever heard from you was off the May 26th album, like the on SoundCloud, the project.
The first one.
The first one. And I went back after I listened to the new one you just dropped. And I was like, wow, you can actually hear the progress that was being made. I mean, not just sound, but just also your rapping and how you go more into depth and how you're able to elaborate and the way you bend words and the way your rhyme schemes are more mature.
Thank you.
So, I mean, kudos to you, man. I mean, I can't wait to continue to watch the growth and continue watching what 850 does.
Thank you, man.
He's grubbing. He's grubbing.
Yeah, I didn't want to eat in front of y'all.
It's all good.
I didn't want to get the bite. What I say though, that so like a certain amount of love was put into this project, man. It's like my baby.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure and take it personal. Like, yo, if I'm dropping something on my mom's birthday again, it needs to be better than anything I've ever done. And I feel that way right now. So I'm really happy with it. We're all happy with it.
You guys should be. You guys should be.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it.
Can this be a continued memorial of your mom through music? Or can we expect something every May 26th from Aske and the 850 gang?
Yeah, I would like to. I would definitely like to.
Yeah, definitely.
If the vibe is there and we're able to kind of like dig back into that that setting and that time of place and do better, like find a better way to do it every time, bro, I would love to do it for sure.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
No doubt.
Awesome. Okay. Aske, what is your favorite spot in Tucson?
Like to eat, to perform where?
Uh,
That's a good question.
I know. I know. Okay, let's do first to eat and then to perform.
Okay. So to eat,
It's a
yeah,
taco
back up the
stuff.
other way.
No.
So for eating, I would say Taqueria Porterfies all day. Those are my guys. I'm also at the dive now because Che West is up there.
Shout out
So I'm
Che.
definitely supporting. Hey man, Chip is like ahead of his time right now with what he's doing in the culinary game. Like he's taking these old like Nana recipes, you know, like the mom and pop recipes that we're so used to eating, and adding so much like swag to them. So that's where I'm eating at right now, and I eat a lot of Middle Eastern food. I love Middle Eastern food. I tap in with where do I go? I go to Zaina. Who put me on? Zolo put me on with Zaina. Thank you, Zolo. Yeah, that's the homie. But that's where I like to eat. I love Mexican food. I love Middle Eastern food. And then the other day I just went to I went to D's Island Grill, man. You know I gotta support the black businesses all day of the week. Make sure you guys go to D's Island Grill, whoever's on here, man. Shout out to them. And performance wise in Tucson, I love solar culture. What else would I say? 191 is dope. Hey man, Rialto need to quit playing with me and figure out how we could get on a bill. I need to perform at Rialto, man. I'm what 3 years in and I haven't performed at Rialto yet. So we need to make that happen.
Definitely, we got to make it happen. We got a question. We got a question here from Pike. He said, "How did Aske get his graffiti name?"
How did Aske get my? Okay, so it started off as Ask, like in the past tense. And I'm not gonna give the spelling of that, you know what I mean? But I was doing that, and then it changed to Asker, and then eventually I was like, Aske's cool. You call me Aske? Who called me Aske? I did in the OG from Denver. And then the homie, like I was in the crew with some old heads out of Denver, and they would call me like Young Aske or like Little Aske. So I started writing that. And my homie Gage OSM gave me that name, the first name, Ask. So shout out to Gage. Gage gave me that name. And I just like the way the ASKE used to flow, like in my, you know what I mean? Like that, it's like the letters would flow, like the structure of the letters used to flow perfect to me. And when I started rapping, I don't have a really big imagination, man. So like when I was looking for names, I was like, everybody knows me as Aske, so this is what I'm gonna go by, you know, like this is me. So it just worked out, and it's weird because like there's no other Aske minus like some metal band in Europe, you know what I mean? But that's it. Shout out to them. But, yeah, man, that's it. It stuck with me, and SV calls me Aske Baby, so that's like a little nickname or whatever, and that's how that like started to work. But yeah, that's it.
That's dope. Yeah, that's good question, Pike. That's awesome. He said representing two elements of hip hop.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm still hella tapped in with the scene, man. Like, I'm still tapped in with a lot of the bigger homies that still write and still paint. Like, I still go to events. I still paint at like legal events and stuff like that. Like, that's never gonna leave. That's never gonna leave my my soul. You know, like that's forever.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to talk about the feature with Evander Grimm and how that relationship came about. I mean, I saw your just your interaction with him on the live stream that I was in, and you guys seem like you guys seem to have like this friendship about it all. Yeah. So like, how did that start?
He's definitely the homie now, man. But it started off. Where did I find him? I found Evander Grimm like 2 years ago. The homie Darren Grant put me on because he's black and Mexican, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna put you on with this black and Mexican artist. Like he's fire, and he be rapping in Spanish." So I was like, "Cool." I tapped in with him, and I've been a fan like ever since then. And then now that they're what was I about to say? We were looking for features, and we were like, "Damn, like who could we work with right now? Because features, you know, in the industry, man, it's really tricky. Like, you got to make sure that the people that you reach out to actually mesh with your music. If not, then you'll just get whatever back. You know what I mean? And they won't be invested in the track. So we were in the studio, and who was it? Truly was in there. Truly was in there with us. SB, I think Tommy might have been in there, or Tommy pulled up a little later, but he was there. And we're like, damn, like, who could we get a feature from? And like Evander Grimm popped up, and Truly was like, oh, like, I'll get him on the phone and we'll set that up. So Truly definitely set that up. So thank you to Truly for setting that up. And we were like, hey, like, what's up with the video? Like, can we get the video too?
Press it again, fool.
And what, me?
Yeah, unlock it, please.
Unlock you?
Yeah,
It's unlocked.
that wasn't for me.
And the video, like, we reached out and was like, yo, can we shoot the video? Bro ended up being mad cool. He was like, yeah, I'll shoot the video with y'all, but y'all got to come out here. We were like, say less. We got the Airbnb. We went out there, shot the video. And then bro was like, I'm about to headline my show in El Paso. Like, you guys want to do that? Wow. Say less. Again, you know, say less. Like, sign us up. So we went back to El Paso like maybe 4 days later or a week later.
Wow.
And rocked the show. And the show, like the El Paso show, was so crazy, bro, because after the show, we probably had like 30, 40 people like waiting to meet me. And Chris was like, yo, line up for the meet and greet. He was joking, and people actually did it, bro. Like, people started like getting in the line, and they're like, yo, like, could we take flicks with you? I'm like, hell yeah. Like, why not? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just happy to be here, bro. Like, so
exactly.
El Paso shows a lot of love. Like, I love El Paso, and like, me and Evander are cool. Like, we talk all the time. Like, we talked yesterday. He sent me like one of those questionnaires, like, which character from The Office are you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Evander's a funny dude, bro. Like, we never know what we're gonna get from him. He's a funny ass dude, man. So like, I can say that he's definitely like a homie, like, in the business. Like, I talk to him, Chris talks to him. He talked to my dad on FaceTime because my dad's from El Paso, and they chopped it up. You know, so like,
that's fine.
Yeah, man, it's a good relationship, man. So shout out to Evander Grimm, and thank you to Truly for setting that up again, for sure. Like, it's a relationship that's going to go forward, and we definitely have more music in the vaults that we about to drop, for sure. That's the bro.
Fire. Super dope.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
Sometimes you get lucky, man.
Yeah. That's all that's the truth. Ain't that the truth?
And being, you know, just not to get on my soapbox too, but like, in general, for artists, just being a solid person and being transparent will get you far. Like, getting straight to the point will get you far, because artists always try to have like this sense of like bravado and like ego, and it really stops people from being able to vibe and make music and connect and get business done. If you put all that bullshit aside and it's like, yo, this is what we got, this is what we're bringing to the table, like, what do you want to do? Like, there's no ego here, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that helps out a lot. It really does, because it shows that we're people. Like, you don't have to be like a rap nigga 25-8. Like, you could be a cool dude and still get business done and still form relationships. Like, so that goes a long way, man. That's a good note.
That's a good note for any up-and-coming rapper that's watching this.
Being solid is the hard way, man. Being solid is the scenic route. It's the long way. It's the road less taken, bro, but it pays off.
Scribble that in the notes. Scribble that in the notes.
Exactly, man. Don't ever take no shortcuts, man. Stay solid and do right by everybody, and it comes back to you. That goes for anything in life. Y'all know that, man.
Yeah, facts. You know, you brought up a good point with just Black and Mexican thing. I mean, I call myself Blaxican. So,
right, yeah, we Blaxicans for sure.
We Blaxican. I mean, so I hear that a lot in your music. I mean, just not just watch. I mean, it's in I'm blanking on the other song. Help me out here. The one with the
I know Pipe Down. There's
Pipe Down. Thank you. Yep. And all the songs actually, and even all your songs, you try to incorporate some Spanish or some Mexican theme in it. So what does that mean to you, just being able to showcase that side as well?
It means everything to me. Like, being tapped in with
Oh
no. He's probably still talking too.
He's probably still talking. We're gonna be like, we didn't hear anything you just said. Or his phone died. I don't know. Something happened.
Oh no.
It's all right. I mean, this.
Can y'all see me?
There you go. Now you're back.
There we go.
Woo-hoo!
Okay, we heard nothing you said.
You gotta say all that again.
Okay, my bad.
No, you're good.
the Spanish element of my music is something that I'm really taking pride in. I feel like now more than ever too, because there's a whole nother world out there, like Latin America, obviously, like Mexico. Like I have hella fans in Hermosillo, and I'm like, bro, I gotta give you guys like your guys' native language too. Like if I'm just rapping in English, that's selfish. When I know that I could push myself as an artist and tap in and start using Spanish, so it's fun too, like, and it shows like how far I can go with my pen. It definitely helps out, and there's a whole nother scene out there, like in Mexico, bro. Like there's a whole nother scene, like with rap and then like with the grupos, like there's like Spanish trap shit going on right now. Like it's beautiful to see that all like our culture is expanding. So I want to be like a well-rounded artist and make sure I'm tapping in with my race, my culture. I want to show people that you can be proud of who you are, because there's like a stigma of people that, oh, like I'm too black. I'm too black for Mexicans and I'm too Mexican for blacks, or I'm too white for black people and too black for white. You know what I mean? Like just being mixed. Like we deal with these internal problems, and I'm like, if I'm gonna make it look cool and I'm gonna be proud of this, hopefully that kind of opens the door for other people and lets them know like, hey, we could rep who we are and be completely proud of it. You can't. You don't have to choose a side and be, oh, I'm too black here or I'm too Mexican here. Like I'm repping both all day of the week, and I'm proud of it. I'm definitely proud of who I am and where I come from and my heritage. So I want to kind of just throw that out there, but like in a fun way, like I want to show people like, yo, we can do this in a popping way and like still bring that attention to our people.
Exactly.
So that's
awesome.
The answer for that, for sure. Like we need to embrace who we are, man.
Definitely.
It's crucial.
You have any other questions, Danielle?
Not really. No.
No. So before we let you go, I do have one more question before we let you go, Aske, and make the sign for the protest. Who? Oh, what? One. It's a twofold question. So, what's next for Aske and 850? And what is the dream features to get on?
Or so ask me the first question one more time, please, bro. I'm sorry.
What's next for Aske and the 850 gang?
What's next for Aske and 850? Our own tour. Yeah, we're trying to headline some tours. We got an album. We have some features. Oh, right. I have some features, that are like about to be life changing, bro. Like,
you want to leak or what?
Household names, and like, I'm so excited right now. Like the people that I've been talking to lately, like, it's nuts. The features that we have locked in are going to be game changers, and it's hard for me to like not have a big mouth and say who they are and ruin the party because I really want to.
Just say one. Just say one.
Bro, I can't even say one.
All right. Bless.
Evander Grimm is going to happen again. Grimm is going to happen again. I can say that. But
facts.
These other two artists and possibly the third artist that we're dealing with right now, like we're about to make the city proud, man. We're about to make the state proud. So there's that, and just we really want to push Soul Point. Obviously, we're going to push Chris. GoSV should be having some music.
Ooh, what?
Whenever the city opens up, we're throwing a show. We're bringing Evander Grimm out to Tucson. That's going to be a party. So just work, man, and just legitimizing everything. Making sure we're leaning towards becoming businessmen. Yeah, we're a company now. I said that earlier. We're a company now. You know what I'm saying?
LLC. So yes, sir.
It's a different.
All the rights to our name, goddamn you! Put that shit up, you pay us.
Yeah, man. It's a different look. It's in the back tripping, but it's different, bro. It's different. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna look at us and just think like, oh, they just some rappers or whatever. Like, nah, there's more to it now. We're businessmen. Like, we're doing this shit the right way. So that's pretty much it for 850, man. Just grinding. I can't really say too much right now, but in time it's gonna unravel, and we're gonna make people proud, man, for sure.
Definitely. If you haven't already, you will be on your way. But before you go, don't leave. Mm-hmm. We're just gonna play the Just Watch video from start to finish. And that's how we're going to end it over here. So this is Aske, Evander Grimm, Just Watch. Here you go.
Counted by Chris on the beat, baby.
Counted by
Get the cheapest coca out in Sinaloa. Hey, you ain't from out here toting Chivos when the niggas show up.
Dime que me ama, bitches say they love me. Tirando leche, I'm a double, she ain't running from me. Talking about that money, bitch, we get a lot. Being a gusto by the beach, I'm sipping micheladas. Heard they was looking for me, still in the city, ain't rapping for free. Back of the Jeep, roof off with that pack on me. That bag on me, they was guessing, now they back on me. When the plug hit the phone, bitch, it's time to go. White bitch looking pretty, it's already sold. Loyal to the game, bitch, I never fold. I go lo que quiero, I'ma do what I want. You can tell I keep a burner by the way that I walk. Swerving like I'm faded while she giving me top. We ain't saying too much, cause I'm the nigga to watch. I say, I go lo que quiero, I'ma do what I want. You can tell I keep a burner by the way that I walk. Swerving like I'm faded while she giving me top. We ain't saying too much, cause I'm the nigga to watch.
I keep a bad bitch, curvy little bitch and nothing average. Perro, cheating on her but her mama love me. Lindo, sipping on some dirty but I'm clean though. Gringo, 12 put me over but I'm speeding in that Benzo. Cartier fiend, got them diamonds on me dancing. Shawty so spoiled, when I leave she throw a tantrum. But she'll never leave cause she know a nigga handsome. Looking at my watch, man, it's looking like a mansion. On my childish shit. Nigga, I'm about my cheese, I'm about my pack of shit. Ay, niggas talk too much, I might just slap a bitch. Ay, nigga, this weed too good, man, I ain't passing shit. Working on my outlaws, that's what she tell me. Cause I'm counting commas, that's all I tell her. But you know I'm lying, man, I'm deep in a bitch. And I'm rich as a bitch, yeah.
Oh, shit. Chingado. Vámonos a la verga.
La cachimba se ha formado la corredera. En el barrio la cachimba se ha formado la corredera.
Fire. So thank y'all for
Bye,
tapping
James.
in to the Takeover Lounge. If you were
Hey.
watching live, make sure y'all follow Aske.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all follow me everywhere at ASKEBABY. Those are my handles. Spotify is Aske. I also want to remind everybody to get out and get active. Do what you can right now during these times. Make sure you guys are using your voices and your platforms. I wanted to say that before we get off of here too.
Bless, man. Yes, everybody do what you can, of course. Aske, thank you again, brother. We out.
Z, Daniela, Mankind, it's always love. Thank you guys for dealing with me and my horrible connection and the beat in the truck. I appreciate y'all so much, man.
Of course. And that's a wrap.
Gang, peace.